many people trying to keep me and keep me from thinking, but I'm awake and I'm tired of sleeping.
No going back, no going back. Mental prison, slavery of the mind. Education, keeping us in line. Propaganda controls our youth. Stolen culture, broken truth.
Oh, just a little bit of luxury to start you off. What's up, Joy Tribe? Welcome to the weekly Joy Villa show. I am your hostess with the mostest, Joy Villa, #1 Billboard artist, singer, songwriter, fighter for freedom, all things patriotic America. But I also travel worldwide. And as you guys know, the Joy Villa show has not been professionally produced and sponsored by the Muzzle Free Zone. By the way, shout out to our sponsorships, Muzzle Free Zone. Shout out to some of our friends as well at Tal. They sent me this awesome cup that I'm drinking from. And a shout out to Rock Blanc Hotel in Andorra in Europe. That is where that commercial is. That's my current commercial. I am the face of Rock Blanc Hotels, 4-star luxury hotels in Europe. How cool is that? Lots to report, Joy Tribe. So we haven't done a proper Joy Villa live show with my producer. You know, he is amazing. We call him Effin Stefan. Stefan Rosen is producing the show. He's backstage. We brought back Sully Bean. Love Sully, one of my incredible co-hosts. And today we have a special guest. We haven't done a guest for a while as well. So Joy Tribe, first, before I bring my amazing guest here, I just want to shout out to JCL and all my members, because if you're a member and you're watching, I remember this commercial exactly. JCL is right there. He is always saying, Joy, are you going to go live? Where are you? What's up? How are you doing? He's one of my favorites. JCL, is it true you're 19? Is that right? You know, you are amazing. You're one of my all-time favorite Joy Tribe members, and you always make sure that the show is on, and you're asking if I'm going live. Forgive me, Joy Tribe, for not being live last week. And then the week before, we had the floods. We had some crazy stuff going on. I didn't get on, but today we are here. Matthew Mittens in the house. So if you're a member, either if you give stars on Facebook or you're a part of my monthly membership, it's only $5. If you're a member on YouTube, it's only $5. And by the way, for all of those watching for the first time, we go live every Wednesday right here on YouTube. And by the way, we got to pick a YouTube. It's at Joy_Villa. They gave me a username thing. They said it was only offered to me, and maybe it's like a few number of YouTubers. Who knows? But I'm just happy that Susan over at YouTube is not shadow banning me right now. So this is good. We're still kind of in the bands, but we're getting out of it. We're being friends with everybody. It's a short, most likely I miss my girl. Hi, Joker. Trucker's here. We got Trucker 2022. Love it, Joker. Yay, I was wrong. You didn't think you thought I was just going to premiere something. Okay, so it's very important that we have truckers here. Joker, shout out to my mod, Joker. JCL is 19. Love it. Hey, buddy, says Joker's one of my mods on YouTube. Matthew Mittens is one of my followers here, my subscribers and my special ones. But oh, by the way, every Wednesday we go live here on the Joy Village Show, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's now 6:05. I'm in Florida. I'm on the East Coast. 2 weeks ago, I was on the West Coast. Actually, last week I was on the West Coast in California. So I'm not in Los Angeles now. I am now here in Florida visiting my family in Jacksonville. But yes, Matthew Mittens, I like the truck with the little running man. Can we throw up that comment? That is awesome. Unifier TV is here. What's up? Yeah. Matthew Mittens has the little guy running after the truck. I like it. It's very cute. Now, today we have a very special guest. In fact, I'm not going to wait too much longer to bring on my guest. Can you? Well, I think we had a mic issue. How's the mic now? Can you guys hear me okay? Is it too loud? Because I speak kind of loud. Okay, better? All right, good. Thank you. All right, so now I'm going to bring on our special guest, Bryan Anderson. He is from Careers Worldwide Trucking School in Keensburg, Colorado. This dude is a military man. He's a Marine. And I'm not going to say was a Marine, because once a Marine, always a Marine. I have Marines in my family. One of my aunts is a retired Marine captain. So I come from a military family. So yes, let's bring on, hello, Bryan.
Hello, Joy.
To the Joy Villa Show. Thanks for coming on this week. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm telling you, I am doing good. I'm a little bit, my head is everywhere because on Saturday I leave to go back to Europe to shoot a film. I'm doing a documentary in Andorra. So we're doing a movie. I'm producing it. I'm hosting it. And then from there, I'll be in the UK. So I'm going to be in Europe for 6 weeks. And then I go to the US end of November, just in time for Thanksgiving.
Well, that hotel you're at in that commercial looked pretty darn nice. I'd like to do a little
myself. Baby. You want to come? Let's come out. Bring your family.
All right. My wife would love it over there. That's for sure.
She needs a massage. I think Bryan's wife, Mrs. Anderson, you need a massage. I'm sure you do. Do some pampering. She could just come. It'll be a girls' trip.
Right.
So, Bryan, tell the audience, I think I did a pretty good introduction of you, but we've got an amazing audience. Well, Michael Mistro, we got some chats. Everybody who donates to the chat, we will answer your questions. If you have questions for Bryan or for me, we're going to shout out all of our donators. Michael Mistro, the fourth, just donated 99 cents. Thank you so much for that. That keeps the channel going. We really appreciate it. And but we had a lot of viewers, and a lot of my viewers are conservative, patriotic. They love truckers. They love America. They want to hear from you, Bryan. So what would you like to say?
You know, just it's a great blue collar industry to be a part of. After the military, kind of fell right into it. It's what I grew up around. You know, I've always loved this country, and really transportation is what a huge part of the infrastructure, you know, keeps us rolling.
Absolutely. Now, how did you get started in this industry?
Family. Yeah, family business. You know, I grew up, my mother drove truck. My father drove truck. My stepfather, who married my mother when I was very young, is actually the one that started this school. You know, and he's started it in '94, and we've been helping others break into the industry ever since.
Wow, that's incredible. So this is a family affair. It's a family affair. I love that. Well, for somebody who wants to get into, actually, first let's lay the groundwork. What do truckers do? And I know that the trucking industry is incredibly important for America, for the world. We saw what happened in Canada. Right? I mean, truckers really do make the world go round. You guys, from your mouth, why are truckers so important? And what do they?
Anything you go to get from the store was in a trailer at one point. You know, the headphones, the mics, the shirt, the chairs we sit on. Everything was moved in a truck at one point or another. So if you've eaten it, bought it, worn it, you know, used it, it's in a truck at one point. So it's a huge part of our creature comforts these days. You know, we don't have to go out and obtain or build things ourselves. They all get moved to us. Without trucks, you go to the store, there's nothing there. Trucks are what keep it rolling.
Exactly. It's so true. I mean, a lot of people have to realize that, without you guys, we really don't have an economy.
Yeah. And bringing in the new generation of them is very important. There's
Yeah,
always a shortage for truckers. Companies are always looking. So, we got to make sure we keep them seats full.
absolutely. If somebody wants to get interested in trucking, like how would they get started? What is sort of the first step?
Really just reaching out. You can just Google anything these days. And as soon as you Google it, companies start hitting you up. But the one thing I'll say is do some research. Don't just jump onto the first offer given to you, because sometimes it don't quite turn out as well as you think it would,
Yeah.
Do some research, learn a little bit about it, and then, make the choice that's going to fit you the best.
I like that, Brian. And is it a lucrative industry? Like, is it something where someone could make a career out of it?
Yes, absolutely. I actually had a former student that graduated 2.5 years ago now. Just came by and saw me the other morning and just wanted to stop by and say hi. He's a single guy, upper 40s, and he's making about $18,000 a month.
18
You know?
what?
Yeah.
$18,000 a month?
It's about what he's bringing home.
And he came through your school.
He came through the school, and
Wow.
actually, he had a pretty rough life. Before that, he had made some bad choices and was mixed up in the wrong stuff, and cleaned himself up enough to be able to come to school. And he's actually been on the good path now. He just hit his 2-year mark. That's why he came by and saw me. Hit his two-year mark of good. So he hadn't even been trucking for a full 2 years, and he's already doing that well and completely whole new life. Now he's working out. He quit smoking cigarettes, eating healthy, just complete life transformation.
I would, if I had a,
Right.
I love that. See, I'm into fitness, I'm into health and nutrition.
Mhm.
And the fact that he's not only I mean, it really is a mindset. Not only has he changed his life around as a career, doing something that he loves, and he's making great money, but it's changed other aspects in his life.
Yep.
It's really good. And I really love that in today's economy, or I should say economy, it's really today's society, where we're telling people go to college. And I'm not against college, but everyone's saying go to college, get in debt, do all these things. When we have a career, like it's almost like a trade school. You're teaching somebody a valuable career. I mean, is it a trade school or is it a specialty school? What is it when they go through your school? Like what's sort of the idea, and how long does it take? You can tell us a little bit.
So it's actually a trade school. And what's cool about it is, going into debt, you mentioned college, that's big debt. Here, a few $1,000s, 3 weeks of your time, and you leave here as an entry-level driver. And you can go out there and start learning how to make that good money. And within a couple of years, if you play your cards right, you pay attention, you're relatively intelligent, well, you can end up making some pretty good money.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. We got some people saying some good things. If we throw up some comments up here, broker. So Trucker 2022, thank you so much for the super chat of $4.99. If you guys want to get your comments up here featured, ask Brian anything, ask me anything. He says brokers are killing the rates. How do you get away from that? So what are brokers?
So brokers are kind of a middleman. What they'll do is they'll reach out to these big companies that need freight moved, and they will actually have truckers under them, and they will, for a percentage, give them the loads. So sometimes brokers start taking too big of a piece of the pie, and it really doesn't leave much left for the truckers. They just get too greedy. So that's where, as a trucker, you have to start going to the source. If you start becoming an owner operator where you're, using your own vehicles and running your own business, you have to start finding companies where you can actually contract straight with them, and go to the source and just kind of cut the broker out of the middle, if they are affecting too much.
Wow. So that's kind of the thing here. Now, I know some of these comments are talking about trucking. Trucking requires learning how gearing works, says Joker. People are like, you should get your CDL license. Well, that's what Careers Worldwide does, right?
That's right. Absolutely.
What do they get?
So we train them from the ground up. We get people who have never even driven a stick shift before, never driven a manual. We teach them how to use a clutch. We take them through the whole thing, the backing maneuvers, proper vehicle inspection, teach them all of that. That way they can make sure their vehicle is going to be safe. And with the gearing, that's kind of funny he brought that up, because nowadays everything's going automatic. We still train manual. So we still teach people how to shift gears, 8 speeds, 10 speeds, and that'll set them up for driving any of them, 13 speeds, 15 speeds, 18 speeds. It's pretty fun actually once you learn it.
Is it fun? I think it could be something fun. I feel like I make movies. I'm an actress. I'm a singer. You probably know me from the Grammys and stuff. But I think there should be a movie where somebody has to drive a truck and they have to change the gears and the cameras around there. I don't know if you've ever had that in a movie, but I feel like it would be really action packed.
People always come through here and they say that, everything that this school goes through, it should be a reality show. I don't know that I want to be on a reality show, but I do really enjoy helping people out. That's for sure.
I bet we can get that funded though. Yeah.
Right.
Super cool. Just in case. Jenny Garner, Schubert says, former student, wonderful school, great instructors, fast paced.
I actually remember her. Yep.
Jeannie. Hi, Jeannie. Brian, remember? Very cool.
Yeah.
And from a female student.
Yes, we actually have quite a few.
I was just going to ask you that, Brian. How many women go into trucking?
Last week, 3 women left the school to their prospective companies just last week here.
Wow.
Yep.
Really? Look at that. Just LM says, is it easy for women?
Yep.
Drivers?
If you want to know the truth, women usually do better than the men. Men are a little cocky, a little full of themselves. They think, oh, this is a testosterone filled, I'm going to come in here and knock this out. Women, they're smarter. They pay more attention. They study harder, and they got a little something to prove when they're surrounded by all them men. So they end up being more gentle on the truck and end up usually doing much better in the long run.
No kidding.
Yeah.
This is interesting because most people know this about me. Some people don't. Joy Tribe. And by the way, get your if you want to get your comments, we have a full chat here. So if you'd like to get your comments read, or if you like to specifically ask some very specific questions, super chat. We're going to go through the super chats first and to the membership. So if you're a member for $4.99 a month, or if you want to super chat it, we're going to get to you guys, Joy Tribe. But I wanted to say that I love women in a male dominated field. Like, I think that there's something really sexy about that. It's really cool because those women who do that are very specific. And just answer my question, like, why would they be better? And you just nailed it. So now if a woman, let's say I wanted to get into trucking.
Okay. Like, a guy.
You have to have a license, driver's license, right?
Yes.
A regular one.
Yes. Yeah. And that's really all you need to start with is a regular driver's license. Obviously, you want to have somewhat of a clean driving record. You don't want a bunch of DUIs and careless driving or anything like that. But from that point, you just start studying. You get your permit. You go through a school like ours. You can, once you leave here, you don't want to really jump right into running your own business and owning your own truck. That's something that comes later, but yeah.
I like that. So then and then the school takes a couple weeks.
Yes, 3 weeks actually. We start a class on every Monday, and then 3 weeks later, that Friday, you graduate and you're all done. Head off to your prospective company or wherever you're going to go.
Wow. Okay. And to become a driver, so you have to go, once you're through the school, does a driver have to buy her own truck or his own truck? How does that work? Does the company supply a truck?
That's a great question. So most of these bigger companies, and you see them on the road, you see all these huge companies where you see the same logos on the trucks all the time. They have huge fleets of trucks, and that's where most entry-level drivers get started. They'll go to one of these larger companies, drive one of the company trucks, so that it's a company-owned truck for a period of time. They can set themselves up to where they can start making enough money and learn enough. That's the big thing. You got to learn enough about this industry. You don't want to jump into the deep end before you learn how to doggy paddle, Right. So most people don't jump straight into buying a truck. What they will do is they'll actually go to the bigger companies, like I said, learn the industry, drive for a year or two, get their feet good and wet, really understand it. Then they make that big plunge into the next step.
Wow. So you can own your own truck and that you make more money with that.
Yes. I've had people leave here, start with the company. They buy one truck. They make enough money. They buy a second truck, then a third truck, then a fourth truck, then a fifth truck. And they're running a fleet of anywhere from 5 to 10 trucks. and doing good. At that point, they don't even have to drive anymore. Now they're just a business owner. They have drivers and fleet manager that runs them for them.
Wow, this is incredible. I just like showing Joy Tribe, this is our official Joy Villa, Team Joy Villa group back again. We're doing the show. Bryan, you're our first guest after many months. It was just
I'm honored.
Fans don't love me, but I said let's invite a dose of Americana. Bryan, I'm glad you're here, and I want to bring up some of these questions Matthew asked because he's one of my Joy Tribe subscribers. He says, "What did he say?" Let's bring up one of these questions Matthew Mittens asked Stephen, if you can throw that in there. Are there talent here? Perfect one. Are there talent headhunters coming to the school hiring before graduation?
Yeah, it can get a little dicey sometimes. Absolutely. What it is, they actually call them recruiters out here. And a lot of them, yes, they will come to the school and they will try to snag people, but we're very loyal with the companies that we work with and partner with. We do have contracts where we train for certain companies. They recruit the people, they send them to us. We house them, we transport them, we train them, we license them. State certified examiners actually. Where is it? Right there's one of the licenses, actually my license.
Nice.
So I've been testing for like 15 years for CDLs.
Wow.
So we do the whole process start to finish and ship them off. Well, of course, somebody's going to want to come in and be like, oh, hey, I'll just snag this guy. He's obviously a good candidate. He's already there. So it does get a little bit dicey, but we have open enrollment where somebody can come in and just come to the school and they're not under a contract. They're a free agent. And absolutely, that's where those people like to come in. And I have a book full of business cards and leads. So when somebody comes here, I give them that book and they can go through and pick whoever they want and pretty much, going to get hired if they do a little work.
Nice. And Bryan, how much does school cost? Can I ask you the cost? I'm just thinking a lot of my Joy Tribe fans, they're going to watch, listeners, viewers. They're probably going to be like, I might want to do that. I need a change post COVID, post all this stuff. I need a new career. How much money do they need to get started?
$5,000.
$5,000.
That's the cost of the school. There is other options out there, and that's why a lot of the people will go to the bigger companies in the beginning. But, of course, the company is going to get a lot more out of them. We do have plans in place where you don't have to bring all that straight to the table right up front. If they do, reach out to us, we can actually go through all that with them.
Okay, so they could maybe start on a payment plan, and you guys are out there near Denver, close to Denver, right?
Yeah, about 40 minutes out.
So about 40 minutes from Denver. So Joy Tribe, if you're interested, it's in Keensburg, Colorado. Bryan Anderson can connect you. If you can throw up his contact information, F and Stefan. If you guys are interested, this would be a really great career. A lot of you guys ask me, how do you pivot? How do you get your confidence back? How do you do something new? I personally know people who've done it, who've gone to school, got their CDL license, and have had amazing careers being truckers. I've met truckers. I do want to say that I heard it can be kind of lonely on the road. How do you fight loneliness? How do you make the best of it?
Well, I love good music.
Music's
a big one, listen to these podcasts and stuff these days. It is really amazing. I was at the tail end of when they would do books on cassette and you could listen to a book on cassette. And, I really enjoyed the solitude. It was, for me, it was almost meditation, being by myself out there, driving down the road. I really enjoyed driving at night. And to me, it was just real me time and meditation time for me, so I enjoyed it. I didn't really have much issue with being alone.
I like that. Are you an introvert or an extrovert, Bryan?
Nowadays I'm an extrovert. I'm very outspoken. When I'm comfortable, I'm very out there. I'm good in crowds. I can talk to, large groups of people and stuff. I didn't always used to be that way. I used to be an introvert. I started actually, I believe you were from Southern California, right?
I am. Yeah. I was born in
Newport.
Santa Barbara.
Yeah, so right. We're right there, same area. I'm from Newport, so I grew up in Southern California a lot out there, and grew up through the '80s out there.
That's an important question, by the way. He just asked, does Stefan? You mean Bryan? Does Bryan listen to Joyville on the road?
Well, unfortunately, when I was driving, I didn't know who Joy Villa was. Now that I do, of course,
Cut
absolutely.
the stream. Cut the stream. This is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but now if you were, but now you're running the school, right? So are you still trucking or are you mostly into
Yeah, no. I do miss it. I miss driving. If you want to know the truth, sitting at a desk behind a computer and dealing with all the drama that goes on with the school. We get a bunch of adults together in a learning environment, and sometimes they can be a handful. And and you gotta be the kind of the father figure to these adults. That gets a little old. I do miss the driving. I absolutely do. But I wouldn't trade it for nothing. This is a family business. We've been through quite a few changes here lately. This has been a rough year for us. We did lose my stepdad who pioneered this place this year. So
sorry.
it's okay. I appreciate it, but we all go through it. But I can tell you right now, he built this place on a vision. Yes. He built this place on a vision, and we keep it going. It's all about the student.
I love that. I love that there's a vision there and that this is something that, is something that's really cool. Like Taylor Lee says on Facebook, she says, that's really cool. This is something that's interesting that you don't really hear from. This is truckers are a part of America's heartbeat. You guys keep America going. You keep things moving. You keep us, being able to eat, wear clothes. You deliver the basic needs. I mean, baby food, everything you could possibly imagine had to get to your city via a truck from somewhere else. We are such a worldwide international, like sometimes things are get off planes and then get to trucks and then get to get off boats and then get to, it has to reach when it reaches America's shores, or it's grown in one part of the country and then gets to the next part of the country. It's truckers doing the dirty jobs that keeps America running.
That's right. 100%.
We love it.
Absolutely.
Yes, I'm back in the U.S. Okay, we're going to see if there's any other comments here. We can throw up some questions, comments, concerns. Joy Tribe, thank you so much for the super chats that you guys have done. So we've got Matthew Mittens. He actually said at 6:13 p.m., he says, true that, I'm a hands-on kind of guy. I'm in maintenance, aircraft maintenance. Wow, Matthew. I like the popular reference. When you go to the office, the world doesn't revolve around office.
That's right. Absolutely true. I have to get out of here every now and then and go out there, get in one of the trucks, move it around. I actually still give class and do some testing and stuff. And that's when I really enjoy it. One of our instructors had an appointment. So I actually got the opportunity. It wasn't that I had to, I got the opportunity to leave the office and start just this last Monday, start a whole group of guys on their first day on the road. So we take them right out. I drove the truck out on the public road. I pull over on the side and they look at you like a deer in the headlights. And I look over and I say, okay, you're up, jump behind the wheel, and I get in the passenger seat and just take them off and start teaching them how to drive. And, it's a beautiful thing.
Wow. I like it. Meatman says Joy should do a cover of Driving My Life Away in honor of truckers. Love it. All right. We got a lot of comments here and really beautiful comments. Joy Tribe, you guys have been amazing. I am back in the U.S. Topeka Atkins. Nice to see you, but not for long because I'm going back to Europe for 6 weeks. After the military, I almost went into trucking. It's nice to travel, says Joker, our moderator on YouTube. Thank you, Joker. Yeah. JCL says another person from Northern California is Lisa Bonet, San Francisco to be exact. I didn't know she was from San Fran. We got some Californians in the house. So I want to bring on Sully. Sully is one of my favorite co-hosts. He's one of my good friends on here. Sully, you got the beat. He is in the coast part, New Jersey. We got Sullivan from New Jersey. Sully Bean. Sully, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
It's just super cold. It's super cold up here in New Jersey, so I just have to, stay warm where I can.
Yeah, you didn't have the beanie on earlier. You're putting on layers. Next time I see you,
I was going in and out. I was warm and cold, warm and cold. I'm not sick or anything. It's just the way my body works. So
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy when it's so cold out there. I'm in Florida, so I can't relate. Sorry about it.
Well, it was 75 degrees here a week ago, and now it's 51. So it's a big change really quick. There's no 60s anymore.
You're in Newark, New Jersey, right?
Just outside, yeah.
Just outside. JCL said, what city in NJ? So yes. Okay, listen, I have got to get going. I hate to say it, but I've got to do a live not karaoke, a live show with my cousin actually performing here in Jacksonville. She wants me to come up on stage with her. We'll see, but for sure she's going to perform. She plays guitar. There's a full band. So I'm going to see her right here in Jacksonville. But Bryan, you are amazing. Please stay. Bryan, you are welcome to stay on the Joy Villa Show with Sully and Joy Tribe. We're going to be back next Wednesday at 6 p.m. and I might bring the whole team. Make sure you stick with it because we're going to keep going. Sully, you're going to talk a little bit more about what's trending in the news and talk to Bryan a little bit. Whenever you have to leave, Bryan, you're welcome to. But we love to keep you on a little bit more if you're interested.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much. It's very fascinating. I really like the part that women can also be truck drivers. I think
yes, good truck drivers.
The best. Awesome. Joy Tribe, I love you so much. Shout out. All right, Sully, take it over. You ready?
Hey, Joy. Yep.
All right. But before you guys transition, I want to show everybody Andorra because we got the Andorra film. This is a teaser. I haven't shown. I think I might have shown some of you guys. I'm going to Andorra to shoot the final parts of it, so you guys can stay on. But Mr. Producer, F and Stefan, if you can show the teaser, and then after the teaser, these guys are going to be back on. So don't go anywhere, Joy Tribe. But here's a teaser of my film. I'm hosting and producing and creating a documentary about the country of Andorra, and I'll be there on Saturday. So if you can roll that, F and Stefan, and then these guys will come back after. I love you, Joy Tribe. I'll see you next week. We're here in the center of Andorra, where we're going to discover the most emblematic and historic sites this city has to offer.
Andorra is a micro country, but the difference is that if you hear Grand Cayman, you listen to here, you go here. You see Monaco, Monaco. And then you say Andorra, and in all over the world, it's, that's the opportunity of Andorra right now.
This place is amazing. So tell me a little bit about you living in Andorra. Why Andorra?
One of the is the safest countries in the world, considered the safest country. If you have family, like it's my case, I got kids, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, we're all from States. You know how not safe. You cannot leave your kids in the streets or whatever, even if you're in a private area.
I think in Andorra, it's a super country to grow up a family. The kids can go alone everywhere. They breathe sports here. I mean, there's a quality of life that I really want to that's what I need. That's what I want to do, to live here.
For all year round, then you can do anything you wish. You find it here, from the mountains to the city, to the entertainment, to the relaxing things as a spa. You have plenty of things to do in Andorra.
Let's say the establishment now, it's in a competitive, toxic model where you have to be the best. You can clap your brother, but you have to be the best. No, we go from this model to a model where let's be goodness, and science now already demonstrated that being good is better than being competitive.
I mean, we have this capacity to get all together and move forward as one, and that's really nice.
and the opportunity for Andorra, and I would say the responsibility for us as Andorrans now, is to demonstrate that this evolution can be done and shown. So let's take Andorra not only for its own purpose, but the purpose, what can Andorra do for the rest of the world, no? Which not matter because it's very small, but as a model it can serve.
Welcome back to the Joy Villa show. So there's been a lot going on. We have some updates for you. We are getting together for a few different things. Joy will not be here today, but when she comes back next week, we'll be talking about a launch that we have coming up. We're going to be relaunching the Muzzle Free Zone website, and we're going to be getting that up back. We have a couple of other things coming up, such as Patriot Market coming up, and really we just have just a lot of exciting things as the year comes to a close and the next year starts. We've been working hard behind the scenes. I know it's been quite a while, but Stefan, myself, and our team have some very cool things coming. Other than that, we're at a time right now where as a country, we're trying to come together. We have the midterms coming up, and I think it's going to be very cool. But back from break, we're going to have Bryan come back on, and we're going to talk about some trucking as well as the country that we live in right now. Hey Bryan, how are you doing? It's a different segment that we usually don't do, but since Joy isn't here, it's going to be you and me today.
Right on.
So I actually have a little bit of a background, not necessarily in the trucking industry, but my mother works in logistics. So
Okay.
she, all day long, she's on the phone with truck drivers, buying and selling goods, telling them where to go.
Yep.
Dropping load A off and going to point B and wherever else they got going on. But I had a few questions for you that I thought that I could touch on since I wasn't on the last part of the show.
Yeah.
And that basically is comparatively speaking to all the rest of the trades, because obviously right now college for a lot of people isn't necessarily the correct move. A lot of people are hesitant about it. What about trucking compared to the rest of the trades out there is so compelling for young people? What would you tell a young person looking at all the trades and saying, come a trucker?
Trucking is so diverse, I think, is one of the big parts of it. People automatically think trucking, you're over the road, you're gone all the time. Joy actually brought it up. How do you deal with being gone all the time? And, I didn't really cover it then, but you're not necessarily gone all the time. There is so many jobs that are local, oil field. Talk about American, these oil fields out here. You know how many different trucking jobs there are in the oil field alone, hauling in water and fracking sand and, all these sorts of things to all the pipe fitters. Because, trucking is not just a big, huge semi truck with a big old trailer. There is, single vehicles, straight trucks like dump trucks. There's pickup trucks with gooseneck trailers for pipe fitters. I mean, there's a multitude of ranges for driving, and even linemen, working all these amazing linemen that are down in Florida right now, taking care of all our people, Fort Myers and stuff that got smashed on. A lot of those guys have to have CDLs to drive them big lineman trucks, big bucket trucks. So I think the diversity is where it's at, because they can actually have another trade. They can be a welder, they can be a lineman, they can be a handful of things, and that CDL just will enhance what they're doing. So they can do a multi-trade, really.
Yeah, no, I mean, growing up, being around, just being around the phone calls, just listening in from the side, it's always been something that, you have to have a brain on your head to do the job. It's not just, you're
Yeah.
thrown into the, fire and you have no idea. I don't know if it's, how it is now, but I remember, and I know for some of the industry, say you were going to, from New Jersey to Connecticut, and you were bringing, say, 100 cases of whatever the item is. A lot
Yeah.
of those truck drivers were doing not only the driving themselves, but they were doing the unloading. They were doing
Yep.
the physical work behind it as well. Is
Yep.
that something that is across most industries still and still occurs, or?
Mm, to a point, they call that lumping. Why lumping?
Okay.
I don't know where lumping actually came from. I could probably look
Okay.
it up where the origin of lumping came from, but that is actually something that is not quite as often as you would think, but it's
Mhm.
something you get paid for. And a lot of the places you'll go there, and that's like the big traditional tractor trailer. You'll go there and they have pallet jacks and stuff of that nature where you actually unload it yourself. But
Mhm.
that's not really that big in this industry. Most of the
Okay.
time, most warehouses will do it, or they'll hire in a third party person or a few people to come do it for you.
Okay. Yeah, no, I know that it's obviously different, it differs, obviously everywhere, but I've definitely heard that happening. Do you see a lot of young people right now just being interested in
Oh yeah,
trucking? Do you?
absolutely, absolutely. Well, I just did a kind of a graduation speech today for the class that started 3 weeks ago.
Mhm.
They're pretty much done with the schooling side of it, and tomorrow and the day after, they're now testing. They're doing all their CDL exams. So I did their graduation today. I would say average age in that class was probably 28. We
Okay.
had 3 guys that were early 20s, that were independents. And then we had a handful of guys that were going to trucking companies. We didn't have any females graduate out of this class. It was all men in this class. But yeah, I think the oldest guy was mid 40s, that's graduating right now, a handful of them in their 30s and quite a few in their 20s. So yeah, it is something that a lot of younger people are getting into.
Have you seen a dramatic or a dramatic uptick post pandemic?
You know what? Not really. You would think that we would. I expected to, because normally in a worse economy, because a little rough right now,
Yep.
we usually do a little bit better, because in
Right.
worse economy, more people are looking for work, and then we usually capitalize on that.
Right.
I really expected to see much more, but I really can't put my finger on why. There's just not as many people going to school as I would think, especially with where the economy is today. Maybe it's a little too easy to stay home and live off others' tax dollars, huh?
It very well might be. I think it's interesting that you bring that up because you would think, especially with just the climate of where we are as a country, as a nation, you know, college isn't set in stone for as many kids as it once was
No,
over the last 10, 15, 20 years. And
no.
I think that I personally think that that's a good thing because as you see, you have a lot of these trades that a lot of the workers in the trades are getting older. You don't see many people, young people, getting involved, and it's nice to see that there are some young people that actually want to work hard and get out there and do the work that a lot of people may not want to do. And like you were talking to Joy about, it seems like those that are willing to do that are getting paid right now relatively well for their time and doing.
Yep. Yep.
We have a comment here. It says problem is a lot of young people aren't getting the full training that they should get for it, which I myself believe they should get trained and mentored for 6 months before they can pass.
Um, I 90% agree with that comment. The before they can pass thing is a little rough. Nobody's going to be able to pay to train for 6 months straight. That's where the problem is. The cost of one student would be so astronomical that it wouldn't be beneficial for companies or anything else. The way it's set up right now, schools like what we have, we set them up with a solid foundation. We teach these people how to properly inspect the vehicle, how to operate it in forward and reverse safely so that they can go out there and learn how to become a truck driver. Now, once they leave here and they're with their employer, I agree with that 100%. They should stay with the mentor for a decent amount of time. And every case is different. You can't say solely you driving and me driving, we're not the same person.
Right.
You know, what if you pick it up right away and I struggle? I need more time. Right. You should not have to be punished and stay longer with a mentor making less money before you can get out on your own just because, you know, someone like me needs more time. So it is kind of a case by case, but yes, once they leave a school, they are not a truck driver. And we tell our students that you are not yet a truck driver. You need to go out there, learn this industry, experience a lot, drive through Chicago, drive through Atlanta, drive in LA, drive in New York, drive in Jacksonville, where Joy's at right now, you know, drive all these areas. Then you learn how to become a truck driver. And that is through experience. And it's best experience when you have a mentor in the beginning for a little bit longer. So I do agree with him, but not before they pass. Once they have the minimum skill to be safe out there, then they can go with a mentor and learn how to become an actual truck driver. That makes sense.
Another comment here from JCL, just a joke kind of question, but what are your thoughts on anthropomorphic vehicle media like Thomas and Cars?
So what I'm gathering from that very large college word there is automated. Automated trucks is what I'm gathering from that, is what I'm assuming that is meaning. So
I have my dog going off in the background. If anyone, that's just my dog. I'm sorry. She has separation anxiety. I apologize.
So automated vehicles, you know what, man, it's the age we live in. Okay. It's going to happen. They already have it. They already have trucks that go coast to coast, fully automated. My wife and I were heading down for dinner the other day, and I looked over and I saw a little sign in a window of a truck, and it was like a little local delivery truck.
Anthropomorphic means like that it's a lie. Like,
oh, it's a lie. Stefan just taught this ignorant trucker a big word. I didn't know what that college word was. It means it's a love. Anthropomorphic.
It just means
I'll have to put that in my my dictionary now.
Like, what do you think about like the people from Cars and stuff?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely great. But as far as the automated, you know what, we're going to be going that direction. I don't know that they're going to be able to talk to us like the people in Cars and have the mouths on the front and all, you know. But yeah.
I'd like to touch on that real quick if possible.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of ads for the, I don't believe it's been released yet, but the Tesla model of the 18-wheel truck. Do you think that will take over that industry at all, or no?
You know what? I don't know. I mean, from what I've read on it, it really performs well. But, you know, a lot of battery, man. And how long do those batteries really last in electric vehicles? And how much lithium do we have to mine out of the ground? And what happens to that lithium after that battery goes dead? You know, a car, 1,500 pounds, you know, that those big batteries run those cars for a while and then they wear out. What do they say? 5 years for a Tesla? 6 years? Well, what about when those batteries are now hauling 80,000 pounds? They're going to last 2 years? Larger battery banks. You know, I think that the batteries are going to be going through them so quickly that I think it'd be a hard demand to keep up with. And it's still mining another mineral out of the ground to make those batteries. So I think we'll be using them, but I don't think it's going to take over the industry.
Okay. Yeah, no, sorry. I'm trying to figure out my dog. I apologize. But yeah, no, it'd be very interesting just because, you know, you see a lot of the Teslas on the road now just as regular vehicles. You can definitely see a push from many to, you know, have that as, you know, the everyday driver for most come 2030 and above. It'll be very interesting to see the way that our country either pushes this away or embraces it fully. I'd be very interested to see.
Absolutely. Oh, there you go. Stefan threw it up there. Yep. That's the Tesla semi truck. And I do want to go back to one of the comments that was just up here a moment ago. So once we do this Tesla, if you'll bring that comment back up, Stefan. Yeah, these things are wild. Look at them.
It's definitely a nice looking vehicle for sure.
It's for sure aerodynamic, you know.
Mhm.
I just really have trouble believing that this is going to take over the industry. You know what I mean?
Right.
Absolutely, it's going to integrate into the industry, but taking over, I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but yeah, it is going to fill a niche in this industry. That's for sure.
I'd love to see the breakdown in 10 years after it's been on the market for
Yes.
10 years and has been in circulation. I'd love to see how much percentage that it has
Well,
accumulated to.
I haven't spent much time in Jersey. I don't know how the roads are there, but I'd like to see how these things stand up to some of the roads that I've driven out here in
Right.
the U.S.
Yeah, no, not great, not great.
So yeah, there it is. Thank you, Stefan. So Brandon, hey, great to hear from you, man. I actually remember who you are as well. So you're driving for Fry Miller. Okay, nice. You know, this is the third student that I've seen on. I'm actually surprised. I didn't think I'd see this many of our graduates on here. You know, I didn't really get into it, Joy. But solely, one thing about us is we're a family business. And when these people come here, we're not perfect, but we try to do our best to make them feel like family, you know. And when they leave here, that was one thing Stefan brought up. And we even talked about it on that podcast that I did with Stefan. You leave here and it's almost like, you know, everybody that graduates our family school, it's almost like you automatically know each other, even if you didn't graduate at the same time as your paths never crossed in school. You know, Stefan, I think he referenced it as almost like a cult following. You know, when you come through this school, we're ranked one of the top in the nation, and this right here warms my heart. Brandon, it's great to hear from you, man. If you're ever in the area, please stop by. I'd love to see you again. There's Jeannie. I remember Jeannie. Absolutely. You know, yep. 2017 for Brandon. It's great stuff, man. It's so awesome to hear from you guys. This right here is the gratifying part. This is why we do what we do. My little bit of helping out touched their lives in a positive manner. And you know what? When my eulogy is being read and it's my turn in front of them pearly gates and it's my judgment day, I want to be proud. I want to be proud of helping others. And this is just a pathway to do it, you know, really.
Yeah, no, I think that it's very cool. I mean, 5, 6, 7, 8 now. I mean, I think it's very cool that you get to that. I mean, that many people just, you know, you have an impact on and in just a short amount of time.
Yes.
And have that to say. I mean, that's very. I mean, it's telling.
Yes.
I think it's very cool, and I think for a lot of young people. I mean, I had friends personally that I grew up with that never had an inkling or inclination for going to college, never crossed their mind. Always wondered, you know, what are you guys going to do? They end up saying, you know, we're going to become an electrician, we're going to become a plumber, we're going to do all these, you know, they're doing really well right now. And I'm so happy for them because you know what, it's not like everybody else isn't doing well, but to see them doing well, not going at it the means that everyone was told to, and this is the by the book way to go about it. It's really nice to see that, you know, you don't have to sit in a classroom for, you know, however long to do this. It could be just a couple weeks and, you know, you're out on the road doing what you got to do.
Absolutely. Nice. Absolutely. You know what? The trades are great. My son wants to get into welding, plumbing, lineman work. You know, what would happen if everybody went to college? If everybody went to college and nobody got into the trades, what happens when your furnace goes out of your house? What happens when your main plumbing line breaks and it's leaking water and your basement's flooding and you have a college degree? You're good in theory. What are you doing? You know, we have to have tradesmen, and tradesmen really should be paid well, in my opinion.
100%. And I think that honestly, just the way that we've set ourselves up over the last, you know, 20, 30 years, they're going to be paid well because they're going to be there's going to be a need for them all the time.
They're necessary.
And, they are definitely necessary. And I see that, I see them actually starting to thrive. You know, honestly, I see them becoming much bigger and bigger. I see college still becoming still being a thing because obviously there's a need for it, but I don't think it's for everybody. And I think, you know, we can talk to, you know, one and only Stefan about trucking, and we can talk to him about his experience.
You know what's great about this guy, Sully, is he has both sides of that. So he grew up the college family. He did the college for a minute, and then he said, you know what? I want to see what blue collar trucking's all about. He had
Yep.
no idea what he
Yep.
was stepping into. He had never even thought about anything, never even met a truck driver himself, and ended up in my school. And that's where his whole journey on the blue collar side started. And he's told me many times that a lot of people never thought he would make it in trucking. And you know what? He proved him wrong. He went out there and he drove for quite a while, and he succeeded. That's for sure.
The funniest thing about Stefan
Mhm.
is, and I give him credit, is I remember seeing him at like probably 14 years old.
Yeah.
And
So
just from where,
Sully and I went to high school together.
so Stefan and I went to high school together. So I've known him for a while. We weren't ever, huge, very close friends or anything, but I remember seeing him, and now knowing what he does and what he's done over the past few years, it's just not many kids from where we're from would do something like that, and to go out on a limb and try something new. And honestly, it's very cool to see, and that he's stuck with it, and he's loving every part of his job and doing what he's doing. It's very nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to pop in. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, I just wanted to pop in and just talk about the school and stuff because, I mean, as you know, Sullivan, you work with me on the muzzle free stuff. But I basically went from doing all of Joy's stuff and everything. And then one day I was just like, you know what? I'm going to get my CDL. I did go, just so people know, I did do a company sponsored just because I had no clue where to start for anything. And I got referred to this school in the small town of Keensburg, Colorado. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely a very formative experience. This is going to sound crazy, but I think everyone should do it. Just try it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I came back to work at the school and stuff.
He does work here now. Amazing marketing, bringing a whole new element. That's why I'm here on the show today.
Just direction that out.
Yep.
He's always got the small things covered. He's making sure everyone's covered.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's this one? What are your thoughts on the fact that this is from JCL? What are your thoughts on the fact that your home state of Colorado is going the way of California in terms of politics? Well, actually, you kind of got it backwards. See, my home state is actually California, but I'm not your typical Californian. Okay, when people think of California, I know what they think of. I moved to Colorado in 2002, well before it was a cool thing and a fad to move to Colorado and try to bring the Californication with them. But in all honesty, it's kind of sad seeing Colorado go that way. We're red state for a long time, and some of the stuff here is a little bit rough now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's definitely, since I've come out here, I mean, I've started getting involved with some of like the old people in politics. Went to a breakfast yesterday. I mean, it's definitely, though, it is scary, especially for an industry like this,
Yes.
right? Because this industry is blue collar, the heart of America.
Yep.
Like, because you can manufacture a product, and this is what I never even. This is what I never even thought of, but you can manufacture a product, right? But you can't deliver it to the masses and have the supply chain without semi trucks.
That's right.
You can make a product, you can deliver it in a pickup truck if you really wanted to, but it's going to take a long, long time.
Yeah, think about what it takes to fill the shelves in one Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
I
mean, I personally had to back into a store, and I thought what I was delivering was a lot more than what it was. But it's the lifeblood of this country, and we need more people in it. That's one of the reasons why we're starting to do this stuff, why we're having Bryan on this stuff, is that we need more people, because it's not just about getting a higher attendance to the school, it's about the supply chain of the country. We were just reading today. In 2045, it's expected that there will be 70 million more citizens, which will affect the supply chain by 40%.
Yep.
We're going to need a 40% increase. That's workers. Even with automation, it's expensive. you can automate some parts of the industry.
You can. The long haul over the road, on the freeway, on the interstates, just going straight on the interstates, that I foresee being pretty automated. But like I talked about earlier, oil field stuff. How are you going to automate what's going on in Florida and Fort Myers right now with lineman trucks? How are you going to automate that? You're not going to, you know. You can't. It's impossible. How are you going to automate the oil fields where people are driving out through fields and building roads so that they can build pads to put up big oil rigs and drill for oil? You can't automate that, you know. So there will be some automation, but they're never going to be able to automate all of it. That's for sure. There's going to be plenty of jobs out there that are not automated.
Mm-hmm. Here, see, Brandon wrote, I'll part with one piece of advice. Truck driving is not an easy job. Many factors play into operating these vehicles. Common sense will save you. Common sense will save you more than anything else. Make your decisions based on safe, reliable, common sense, and you can succeed in the industry. But it's also, it's a very like mentally, you know, you have to understand the job fully. And that was one thing that I honestly no, when I started doing this, I when I was talking to Soli and stuff, when I was going in to start doing this, like
he had no idea what he was walking into. He stepped into my classroom Monday morning and met me Monday morning, completely clueless to what he was truly stepping into. But you know what? I think he grew a lot. Did you see a big difference in him, Soli?
Oh yeah. 100%
experience.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, look at that beard, man. He would never have that if he hadn't been a trucker.
No. I mean, no. I mean, Stefan is. I mean, he's when he wants to do something, he'll do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what it is. And I think more than just Stefan, I think anyone can do it. You know, it's just whether or not you want to do it. And there's not many young people like him, or, you know, like a lot of us that are willing to go out and do something like that. And I think that, like you said earlier, those that are willing to go out, you know, put a little time and effort, you know, they're being paid right now, you know, very well. Yeah. So for any young person out there that's, you know, not really sure about what they want, you know, you're going to, even just taking the risk to try it, you're still spending a lot less money than you would try in college.
That's what I was just going to say. This is something that you can go out there and you can make a lot of money with a smaller investment in the beginning. So the smaller investment in the beginning, if you're not quite sure what you truly want to do, you can invest in this. And if you end up going a different direction, you're out $5,000. You probably made some money in the industry anyways. You know, it's a much smaller risk for a potential much larger reward.
Right. And like you said, there are a lot of short loads where people, you know, you're not driving too far. You're not going, you know, from New Jersey to California. Not every load needs to go from the East Coast to the West Coast.
That's right.
You know, there are loads that need to happen, you know, within, you know, inside a state. So, I mean, there's I think a lot of people overlook. They just don't really think about some of these things that, you know, really actually have to go on. And I think that, you know, putting out this information to people so they can hear it and actually understand it, I think is important. And I think will lead to more numbers of these younger people and just people in general wanting to be a part of the industry. Because I think it's an industry that, you know, you can do well if you want to.
Yep, absolutely. And, you know, it's super funny. I just want to touch on this. I used to trim trees away from power lines, and I never, ever in my life saw a branch touching a power line before. I never noticed it until I started doing that as a job. And now, even today, years and years and years later, I drive by, I'm like, oh, that tree needs to be trimmed away from that power line. Once you get into trucking, you start recognizing when you pull into that 7-Eleven or that restaurant, oh, there's a delivery truck out behind the restaurant. They're stocking them up. You know, oh, look at that. There's a delivery truck outside 7-Eleven, you know, and they're stocking up 7-Eleven. We don't really notice those things until we get into it. But once you start doing it, you start seeing it everywhere. And that's where you start recognizing those local, you know, deliveries and, you know, pastries and bread and linens and hospital stuff. I mean, there's so much local. You don't have to go over the road. That's a big misconception.
And by the way, if you guys have any questions, just even questions, call us at that number or send an email to info@cdltrainer.com. We'd be happy to reply. Even if you just have a question or you've been thinking about it or you know someone, JCL commented, I would love to see Biden drive an 18-wheeler.
I don't know. I saw a video when he was in a warehouse and he was like, oh, and they said, nope, no keys for you. Okay.
But yeah, so other than that, I mean, it's nice to see. But Stefan going out there and doing it, it's just he's come back a changed man.
Hey, you know what? You know what though? If I can do it, anyone can.
Yeah, he don't give himself enough credit.
No, that's a fact. He doesn't give himself enough credit at all.
You don't think so?
No. There is some people that driving is just not their thing, but it's very, very few. Some people just are book smart. They look at things totally differently. So some people get here and they realize that it just wasn't for me, and that does happen sometimes. Okay. Oh, wait, what do we got there? Ernest. What's going on, Ernest?
Graduate.
Look at this. Ernest Hale. I remember you, Ernest. Good to see you, my friend. Once again, stop by if you get the chance. But he graduated 4 years ago today, and he's making $90,000 a year right now. And he's driving local, he says. So he's home every night, lays his head on his own pillow next to his wife. I'm assuming he's married every night. And he's bringing home $90,000 a year. That's a pretty honest earning for a trade,
Especially considering the debt that you incur. Look, you're looking at $5,000 for a 3-week program and you can go get a job pretty quickly. Now, we obviously, just for legal reasons, can't guarantee you'll get a job.
No.
But there's a very high likelihood that you'll get a job. Now, you go to college, you have $100-something thousand of debt to make.
You have no idea.
Yeah, and you're starting off at
no idea.
50,000 a year. I mean, in my first year, I drove for 9 months. By the end of it, I was making $2,000 to $3,000 a week.
That's pretty good for under a year experience. You're making $2,000 to $3,000 a week. That's pretty darn good money.
A $5,000 investment. It's a quick investment. That $5,000. Even if you go to a starter company like we partner with Stevens Transport.
Yep.
Even if you come to the school through them, you're making a good amount of money right away. It's not like you're spending the $200,000 and you're going to be making $60,000 a year paying off a high interest loan until the day you die. Well, actually, no. Joe Biden will forgive it. Well, $20,000 of it.
Yeah. Right. I don't know that my school is on that loan forgiveness list, but
I was just talking about college.
Yeah.
But I mean, this school. I must say, I love this school. That's why I'm here. I talked to Joy about it. That's why she was so enthusiastic, because she didn't even realize everything that went into trucking until I told her. We spoke 3 or 4 months ago just to catch up. And it was just like, she was just shocked, because most people think it's just a job. You just hop in a truck, call it a day, and no, you have to learn, you have to be safe, you have to know laws. But then you get a higher authority when you're driving in traffic and there are bad drivers. You can be like, well, as a professional driver.
Well, if you guys want to hear more about trucking, make sure you let Joy know, and she can get me back on this show again and we can have some more talks.
But
when you come into school, Sully?
You know what? I'm just.
We might be able to get you a pretty good deal, buddy.
Really?
We have family discount, and I mean that's pretty much what you are now. So,
Colorado's a pretty cool place. I can't lie. But the last time I was there, I got the crew, so it wasn't. It wasn't a good experience.
Well, we're out here in the country, so we won't let you be kissing on no girls, okay?
Yeah, I was like 7, but yeah, I don't know. It must have been like a waitress or something. But
right?
No, I drove through a couple years ago, but when I'm not there for any time, I don't consider I'm even there. It's just you're not there long enough to really take anything in or see the scenery or anything. So when you're just traveling through, it's whatever.
Yeah.
I remember 2 guys, sponsors back down, Brian and the staff helped them find 2 other companies that happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does happen. It absolutely does happen. So, I'm not going to put the company name out there because we really appreciate everything they did with us. But we had a contract with the company, and they just recently pulled out. And it wasn't on our part. It wasn't our fault. They made that very clear. We'd had a great relationship with them for a while. We started training all their military. We can train military. We accept GI and all that. But they started sending us quite a few people. And then where the industry was at, things just started changing for them. And it became not beneficial for them at all to continue doing that and paying us, the school, to train all these people when the things just weren't quite working out the way they need them. So the contract ended up not benefiting them at all. And we don't want to be locked in with the company when we're the only ones benefiting out of the deal, Right. So they just pulled out of that contract. So we are still contracting with Stevens Transport, and we're open enrollment. You can fly out here. I got housing. Okay, I'll put you up in a house. You can pay for the school, deposit payments. I mean, we have some options there. So you don't have to be locked in with the contractor or one of those companies. And if it is a company out there, if you got you a little company, want me to train up some of your people, give us a call. I'll work with you. Big to small, don't matter.
Yeah, no, I'm just reading some of these comments. Lauren Bogert is from is from Colorado too.
Yeah, she's actually, it's funny because they brought up Colorado being Californicated and everything out here, and we love Lauren out here in the country. Another one we have is Sheriff Steve Reams. We're in Weld County. He's my sheriff out here in Weld County. Okay. So we got some good areas out here. Lauren, she catches.
So does Lauren? So Lauren only catches flack from people that don't live there.
Well, no, she catches flack from people in Colorado too. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
But she's up in a smaller town up in the mountains. So she doesn't, up there in her area, they all like her. But when you get into the kind of the a little more liberal mountain towns, or in Denver or the major city, that's where they really push back on her. But you come out here to the country, they adore her out here,
Really? Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I have seriously thought about trucking only for a year or two just for the money grab, then go back to doing something else.
How much money could you make in a year or two for a $5,000 investment? That's nothing wrong with that. You could come out here, work for 2, 3, 4 years. If you're really good with your money, do that money grab and then invest it in your dream. You wanted to make gummy bears your whole life. Well, guess what? Come make the money to get that startup company going and go make your gummy bears.
Yep. Ernest Hale, awesome school. I would recommend to anyone. Really enjoyed my time there. Learned a lot.
Thank you.
Great people.
Thank you, Ernest. I greatly appreciate it. Once again, I know I said it earlier, but stop by and see us, man. Love to see you. I don't know if you heard earlier when I was on with Joy. My dad, Charlie, did pass earlier this year. I'm sure you remember him. He had the tracheotomy. Amazing man. It's a huge loss for our family, but we're working hard, man. We're keeping it going. And, once you come through the school, you're part of the Careers Worldwide family, so Ernest, come on by whenever you want, show up on a Saturday. We barbecue every Saturday. Don't matter if it's snowing or whatever. So come on through, man.
Sounds like it's a party.
We want people to feel welcome and as family here. That's what it's about.
I don't say that. I don't say that in a bad way. I don't say that in a bad way. I say, no, I didn't. I mean, in a good way.
Yeah, no, we
want to make sure people feel good.
Yes, I want to laugh with the students. I want to joke around and and have a good time with them. I want them feeling comfortable in their environment. I want them feeling welcomed and like family. Do
you see a lot of kids come in the first day nervous? Real nervous?
Oh, yes. Yes, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yep. Brandon. Yeah, he did, unfortunately. Chris, you had a student a couple years ago that trained me at Stevens, and it was a great experience. Awesome. That's absolutely awesome, man. Yep. Absolutely awesome. And Brandon, yeah, it was unfortunate. Unfortunately, my Uncle Sean and my dad, Charlie, and they were a month apart. My Uncle Sean had the big beard and stuff. He was in March. And then I think my dad was so heartbroken. He was so heartbroken that, I think that was a big part of it. And he had a heart attack, in April, a month later. So we lost 2 huge icons in our family, some patriarchs of our family. We lost them a month apart. It was a pretty big blow earlier this year, but we move on. We keep pushing.
Salty Heathen, been a pleasure conversing with everyone here, but I myself have to go. Brian holds a lot of wisdom. Listen to him.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I really, really do. And it's been great having you on here, Salty Heathen.
Yeah,
Brand?
no, I mean, just in the short amount of time, you can obviously tell that you definitely have a company that touches a lot of people, that they have nothing but good things to say.
I did not expect to see any of my students on here, and if you want to know the truth, man, that's just awesome to me. Seeing Brandon and Ernest and Jeannie and all these students on here that have come through the school and people that have been touched by the things we do here. It's pretty awesome, man. Pretty awesome. I'm pretty stoked. It makes me want to do more of this stuff. Absolutely. And maybe if we grow it a little bit, maybe we can get a couple of these former students on here or there. Thank you, Brandon. I know Stefan's in here, so he can't put your comment up. But, Brandon said, damn it, mine and my family's hearts go out to you and yours, Brian. I'll extend that to my family. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it.
Is that Stefan right there?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just
Look who it is.
Ooh, there he is.
just checking some stuff, and then
He's playing on his phone.
I'm not playing on my phone. But,
while Stefan's playing on his phone,
Yeah.
like I was saying earlier, Stefan and I have been working very hard. We're going to be having some very exciting things coming to the viewers here and everyone else. And we're just hoping that, we put out a product that, everybody really enjoys and that people can get behind, and people see our vision. And I think that's going to turn out really well. So I know it's been quite a while for everybody on here watching. I know it's been quite a while, but there's a reason it's been quite a while. And it's all going to be okay. And we're going to be back sooner than ever. So just wait on that.
Yeah, and check out muzzlefree.com. MUZZLEFREE.com.
Go get you some shirts. Go get you some shirts and stuff. That's right.
We'll get you some merchandise.
Yep.
We sell Joy stuff. See, Joe Curse. Stefan is like me, 2 computers and a phone. I've got two laptops, got my iPad, got my phone, got all this stuff. Yeah, no, check it out. We sell Joy's stuff. If there's any problems, join our mailing list. We're launching patriotmarket.com soon. We'll be selling Joy's stuff. We're going to be selling some trucking gear. We might even sell some Careers Worldwide stuff. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows where it'll go?
Yeah, be sure to go to muzzlefree.com. You can get the Wake Up and Smell the Agenda shirt, and go to cdltrainer.com if you're interested in becoming a truck driver. Call that number below. We're not scared to answer the phones.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it right now for everybody watching. This is a nice little crew neck. This is not no bad quality crew neck. This is going to keep you warm. This is going to keep you warm in the winter months, like I am in New Jersey. So you know what? Go out and go get you some because you want it, and rep what you feel, but many people won't say.
Certified for them Colorado winters too.
Yes, it is. It is definitely certified for those Colorado winters. Whenever Brian's gonna have to go outside to use the barbecue on Saturdays, he's gonna throw one on and he's gonna be all warm. It's gonna be warm and cozy.
Exactly.
So we got some exciting stuff coming for you guys, and we're very excited that it's almost here. It's not quite here, but it's almost here. So we just want to put in a little update for you guys.
Yep.
So I hadn't been notified that Joy wasn't going to be here, so I didn't realize that I was going to be opening when we came back. So I was a little caught off guard. So I apologize to everyone out there. I was burbling or whatever the hell I was doing, but I settled in nicely. So
yeah,
I appreciate it.
We started flowing through it pretty good.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I think it's just the conversations are interesting. This is something that it really impacts everyone, like you said, and it's just where do you want to look?
That's right.
So I think it's important.
Should we end with a quick funny video?
That's fine. Yeah.
If I'm elected president, you're going to see the single most important thing that changes America is we're going to cure cancer.
And we're going to do it through trucking.
That's still hands down my favorite video. But thank you for joining, everyone. Check out cdltrainer.com, muzzlefree.com, joyvilla.com. Check out everything. Support everyone.
That's right. Thank you all for listening to me. Appreciate you guys having me on here.
Yep. Thank you for being on. We appreciate having you. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
Okay.